oh my lands, here we go again. Another great adventure, another yarn to spin. Every time we get together, what a mess you'll find us in. Oh my lands, here we go again. Oh my lands, here we go again.
Oh my land, y'all. It's Kathleen and Nikki.
We can't wait to share what we're up to in this episode.
Here we go.
Y'all, this memory that we're going to share with you is not one of the funniest memories that either one of us has ever had, but to me, it just fit in with the events of the day that come later in the podcast, because we cannot get the pronunciation of the town that we're in correct. And even though most of the time I had it right and was trying to tell Kathleen how to say it, there were times that I even said it wrong. And then she would say exactly what I told her to say. It's just a hot mess. So I just thought that this memory that we were having about our mothers and correct grammar was just the most appropriate to go on with the events of the days that we're going to share with you. All right. We just finished the Saugatuck Dune Rides.
It was fabulous.
We had the most amazing tour guide, Ian.
Yep, that was his name. He was fabulous too.
And he has given us some good suggestions of places to eat lunch.
He even drew on the map for us so we'd know how to get there.
Yes, he was great.
He was. Going back to there's nice people everywhere. He was so nice to us. And I was excited to do this before we ever went on it. But on my lands, doing the dune rides it's an absolute must do when you come to, I can't say the city's name right without messing it up.
Sagatook.
Sagatuck. When you come to Sagatuck, Michigan. Did I say it right that time?
Well, you said what I said, but I think it's Saugatuck. Remember, because he kind of broke it down for us. Saga.
And then Tuck.
So it's Saugatuck.
Gotcha. That's where we are. And if you're in this area, the dune rides are a blast. You go up high, you overlook Lake Michigan, you drop down through the woods. And this is a privately owned dune, 300 acres of privately owned dune. And he explained to us how they got here, that years ago, I don't remember what year, all the logging was done. And the trees were taken down, and then that let the topsoil erode away and go away, and it left the sand dunes under it.
And so I was going to say, this was actually a perfect adventure for the two of us, because he did stop and he gave you a history lesson, things you maybe you didn't know you wanted to know. But I originally just thought it was going to be an exciting, adrenaline pumping ride. But it is that a little bit, but it's really cool that he stopped and he gave you history and lookouts at different points.
Right.
So that was very interesting.
Right. And he was so good at telling it. I love to hear stories, and he told it like it was a story. And it was pumping. It was adventurous. And up we went and round the corners, waving your hands in the air and whooping it up. Just come here and do this ride, because I'll be recommending it to everybody. And it's beautiful. The whole place is beautiful. It's another beautiful day. Still warm here, too warm for my liking. But when he went down in the tree portion, it cooled off a whole lot.
It is warm, but it's not as hot as it has been the first 2 days of our travel.
That's true. It is. Yeah, it is cooler. It is cooler.
Or the first, are we in day 4? It's Thursday.
Yeah.
And we left on Monday, so.
Yeah, we're into it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all need to come here. And as for Ian as your tour guide, he was so nice. Oh, and by the way, when you go on their website, don't think you can come and do this last minute. This place books up, but they only let you book out exactly 1 week to the day that you want to ride. And I did it that night, right after midnight, and we got in on the spot that we want. We went at the 11 o'clock, and I'll tell you, it was not very busy at the 11 o'clock. It's been a lot busier afterwards.
Yes. As we have just gotten back from our tour, the front porch of this building is packed with people waiting to go out.
So I think, for middle of the week, 11 o'clock must be a good time, or we just got really lucky today. I wanted a time, like before lunch.
But our dune buggy was not full either.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But the one that went out before us that dune buggy was packed. So that time must have, been whatever time slot that was in.
10:30 time slot, maybe.
One went right before we did, and it was packed. But our 11 o'clock one was not packed. But I'm telling you right now, the number of people sitting on that porch waiting to go on, I bet every dune buggy afterwards is packed.
Yes. They said there's only 2 businesses like this left in the state to be able to ride. The one here in
Silver City or Silver Springs, or
that's where the other one is. Yeah. Silver something further up north. Silver Lake.
It's a state park one, so it is. And this is private.
Yeah, and this one's private.
Yeah.
All righty, y'all. We're going to head on down to our next adventure. We're going to either head on to the downtown Saugatuck. Did I say it right the second time? Saugatuck. We're going to go downtown. I hear it's absolutely precious. And we also want to try this Crane's Orchard. This gentleman told us that no matter where he goes, he thinks they have the absolute best apple cider. So we'll be heading there next between these 2 places before we put up camp tonight again.
Well, he said that he tries apple cider wherever he goes because he loves apple cider. And this is the best that we'd ever get. Now, I like apple cider, but I'm not trying it everywhere I go. So that's another thing that just blows my mind. The things that people are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never thought that there would be a person that is trying apple cider everywhere they go. That is so cool to me. Just the things I don't think of.
I know, and y'all, those of you who following us on social media, you're going to see videos of all of this being released before the podcast. And I want you to know, he just about didn't drive us because Nikki is wearing a New York Mets ball cap today. And he about made us get out of the dune buggy. Of course, I wasn't going to get out. I was going to tell her she had to sit here and wait. I wasn't going to give up this adventure over a dang hat.
I know. He tried to make me take it off and said he was going to try to blow it off. But what he didn't know is I got the ponytail that was holding this hat on.
Yep. And it stayed on her head, snug as a bug in a rug.
Hey, and ladies, if you are trying to find a man, which I always am, we have discovered, or we have talked about, that me having a New York Mets hat on with two people instantly knew I was from either Tennessee or Georgia. And I don't think I'm as Southern as Kathleen is, because the other guy working in there, you were in the bathroom. He said, you are either from Tennessee or Georgia and you have a New York Mets hat on. What is going on here?
Oh my.
So that is obviously something that draws the attention. Got me lots of male attention today on this ride.
Y'all, that means she's going to keep wearing it every day this trip. She gonna wear it for all it's worth.
It's never coming off my head again. Until I get that man.
The one you want. All righty, we're off. I'm so glad we did that.
Look at that cemetery.
Oh, and it's got a big old mausoleum in the middle of it.
It's got all those big shade trees. I think that's nice to have big shade trees in a cemetery.
I do too. But I think that makes cemetery number 6.
I don't think I've ever noticed cemeteries before, but because you do, and we have made a point to talk about them. I will be noticing them now.
Well,
See, that is why you should go on adventures with your friend, because you grow as a person. You take on new things that you're going to collect, and
and I think, back when I was talking about that Norman Rockwell Museum, I would have never picked to go to that museum.
mm-hmm.
And it is by far, I'll tell you how much of a favorite museum it was. That was in probably the first 4 dates I ever went on with my husband. There was a Norman Rockwell collection that was on tour close to us. He knew I loved Norman Rockwell, and he took me as a date.
Oh, because you had talked about it that much.
Yeah, and I would have never picked to go there.
Oh my goodness. What an adventure. What an adventure Saugatuck was for us. Oh, and guys, we will share more adventures, because we didn't just have one adventure in Saugatuck. We had many, and we just couldn't fit them all into this episode. But I know that we've said this many times, and we'll probably say it in many other ways, because it's just something that we both have kind of always had in our lives. But I think as we've turned 50, I think it's become even a little more prevalent in our life. At least it has mine. And that is just go out there and try new things. Just do something different. It doesn't have to be something big like going on a big trip or camping or driving a camper that you've never driven before, or it doesn't have to be something big. It might be something little, like just going to a restaurant that you've never gone to, or trying a new type of food that you've never tried. And that may be a real big adventure. And so just try new adventures. And we want to just share this quote with you. That is something that is kind of become new for me, is reading quotes and finding quotes that really speak to me. Now, I'm not one that is going to remember them, so I have to write them down. And it's funny because they've started being posted everywhere, at my desk, at my office, my desk at home, on my bathroom mirror, in my car, just quotes that challenge me or mean something to me. And I really liked this one, and think it goes with our thought today. It's by Oliver Wendell Holmes. And he says, "A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions." I love that. Stretch your mind. And y'all, we would love to hear about your adventures, share your adventures. And I promise you, if you email us or you message us on social media and you're okay with us sharing, we'll share your adventure here on the podcast. And we'll either give your name if you're okay with that, or we'll just share your adventure. And it might challenge us to something new.
Well, y'all, we hope you can use that piece of advice or tweak it to fit your life and or your friendships. If you have a question that you would like us to answer, or a piece of advice that you would like us to share, email us at ohmylandsherewego@gmail.com.
Oh My Lands, Here We Go is produced by Nick Lean Productions. Our song, OML Here We Go Again, was written and performed by Joey Boone. Copyright 2022, Joey Boone, eDaddy Music, ASCAP. You can follow Joey on Facebook and Instagram at Joey Boone Music. You can also reach him at joeyboonemusic.com. If you enjoyed the Oh My Lands Here We Go podcast, please subscribe and review us. This helps us to keep sharing our adventures. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Oh My Lands Here We Go.
Seriously, y'all, thanks for joining us on this adventure and laughing with us as we go. Hope to see you next time.